Hello, we are discussing about GATE 2015 ECE paper. In this question is related to mass capacitor and it has given that one oxide layer thickness TOX. Oxide layer thickness is given as 10 millimeter and maximum depletion layer thickness W depletion. Maximum depletion layer width is 100 millimeter and it has given that one ratio of permittivity of semiconductor and oxide layer epsilon S divided by epsilon OX is equal to 3, and we are going to calculate the ratio of maximum capacitance to minimum capacitance. So C maximum divided by C minimum, this we are going to calculate. Okay. So first of all we will see what is meant by a mass capacitor, and then we will see how to calculate the C maximum and C minimum. Okay, and we also see the capacitance versus voltage characteristics of mass capacitor. So this is a simple MOSFET diagram. Okay, and this is simple N MOSFET, and every N MOSFET is fabricated in type P-type substrate into that one. Okay, two N plus regions, one act as source, the other act as drain, and the space between two N plus regions is going to be treated as a channel. Okay, and above that one there is a silicon dioxide layer, it is SiO2 layer, and this is gate. Okay, and it is channel. So if you observe, initially whenever the MOSFET is invented, okay, at that time gate is made up of aluminum. Aluminum is going to be treated as metal, and silicon dioxide is nothing but oxide, and channel or P-type substrate, both are going to be semiconductor materials, so that it is treated as MOS. MOS, that's why the name has come, MOS, metal oxide semiconductor. And if you observe, this gate is made up of aluminum which act as plate 1. Okay, and this channel is going to be acting as plate 2. Not only channel, if there is no channel also, okay, P-type substrate, that itself is going to be acting as plate 2. So this place is going to be a semiconductor, either it may be N-type if channel is formed, otherwise it is P-type if channel is not formed. In both cases the region is going to be semiconductor which act as plate 2. Okay, plate 2. So it's going to be looks like plate 1 and plate 2. In between there is a dielectric material which is silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide is acting as dielectric material. Okay, it is also act as insulator also, so that, and it looks like parallel plate capacitor. So a mass capacitor is going to be looks like, this is the portion which is going to be called as mass capacitor. It looks like a parallel plate capacitor, and there is a capacitance exists extra between the plates which is nothing but COX. The capacitance present is going to be called as COX, oxide capacitance. Oxide capacitance, the units are going to be farad per centimeter square or farad per unit area. Okay, farad per unit area is the units for the oxide capacitance. Now we are interested in, for this mass capacitor, when it will be having maximum capacitance, when it will be having minimum capacitance. First we will see the characteristics. From that one, how you got that characteristics, that we will discuss. Okay, then we will point out C maximum and C minimum, then get the ratio. Okay. So these are, look at this one, these are current voltage characteristics of mass capacitor, and this is gate voltage. VG is nothing but gate voltage. Okay, and this is total capacitance present at gates. So we are going with a simple mass capacitor structure, and this is what simple mass capacitor structure. First we are going with p-type substrate, above that one gate oxide, Above that one, gate, MOS. This is the structure. For this structure, if you are applying, voltage is going to be less than 0. Less than 0 is nothing but you are applying negative voltage for the N MOSFETs. So VG is negative. So VFB is going to be treated as 0 volts. Okay, effective gate voltage is equal to 0. So if it is going to be less than 0 at that time, then if it is negative voltage can able to attract positive charge carriers from the p-type substrate. So in p-type substrate, positive charge carriers are holes. Holes are going to be accumulated near the gate oxide. Okay, just below at the edge of gate oxide, all the holes are going to be accumulated. So holes will be accumulated over here. Before application of this negative voltage also, that place is going to be consisting of p-type only. But again, if you apply negative voltage, what you are going to get is nothing but more and more holes are accumulated near the gate oxide. Because gate oxide, that is silicon dioxide, is acting as insulator, so no holes are going to be transmitting through that silicon dioxide layer to reach gate material. So no charge carrier is going to be penetrates through silicon dioxide layer. All they are going to be accumulated at the edge of silicon dioxide only, silicon dioxide layer. So this is what we can say it as accumulation region. Accumulation is nothing but already the region is consisting of holes and more holes have been accumulated. So this is accumulated region, and in this accumulated region, okay, as you are changing gate voltage more and more negative, at that time more and more holes are going to be accumulated. So according to plate 1, if you change plate 1 voltage, okay, and this plate 2, this is going to be plate 2, which is plate 2 is going to be directly related to the plate 1 voltage. Okay, if you apply more negative, more holes are accumulated. If you apply less negative, less holes are accumulated. So it acts like parallel plate capacitor with the capacitance present is only gate oxide, and gate oxide capacitance is nothing but COX, oxide capacitance per unit area, and that can be specified like this, epsilon OX by TOX. So this is a value present over here. This is COX during accumulation region till this point. And if you are applying positive voltage but it is less than threshold voltage, so VG value is greater than gate voltage is greater than 0 and less than threshold voltage. By that time, okay, now you are applying small positive voltage. As you are applying small positive voltage, it cannot able to induce a channel. What it can do is, if you apply a small positive voltage, it can attract only small number of negative charges. Okay, so small number of negative charges is nothing but negative charges in p-type substrate are electrons, that is minority carriers in the p-type substrate are attracted towards silicon dioxide layer as they are coming over here. Okay, let us assume the electrons are going to be moving in this direction because of small positive voltage. Okay, and the same small positive voltage can able to repel the holes present in the channel region, that is nothing but near the SiO2 layer. Okay, holes are coming downwards because the small positive voltage can able to repel the holes, can able to attract the electrons. This hole and electrons get recombined. Okay, and no electron is going to be available for formation of inversion channel. So that whenever a hole is going to be pulling downwards, at that time general p-type is going to be looks in this way. General p-type semiconductor is indicated with negative ion with a hole, negative ion with a hole. If hole is going to be removed from that one, only it becomes ion. So now there is ions are going to be created near the silicon dioxide layer, that is going to be treated as depletion region. We know that one in depletion region it consisting of only ions. So the portion where the negative ions are present near the SiO2 layer is going to be treated as depletion region. Okay, so now this depletion region width is going to be treated as W depletion. Okay, and if you observe, as Vg is going to be within this limits 0 to Vtn itself, as Vg is going to be increases, you will get more depletion region. Okay, as Vg reduces, you will get less depletion region. So the depletion region is going to be function of gate voltage within this limits 0 to Vtn. So Vg depletion charge, say it as Qb is going to be depletion charge or bulk charge. Okay, so the charge in depletion region, charge of depletion region is directly proportional to gate voltage. So whenever gate voltage changes, charge in the depletion layer is going to be changes. That is what gives to some capacitance effect. We know then capacitance effect can be defined as dq by dv. dq by dv means whenever there is a change in voltage takes place, if that results in a change in charge, definitely there is a capacitance effect will be present. So in this depletion region also, charge in depletion region changes as voltage changes. So definitely there is a capacitance exist. That capacitance I am saying it as C depletion. Now there are two capacitances are present. One is nothing but oxide capacitance, the other is depletion capacitance. We can say in this way. Okay, by that time the capacitances are going to be from gate onwards. There is oxide capacitance and there is C depletion capacitance, and total capacitance is going to be indicated as C. C is total capacitance. So C is equal to COX in parallel with C depletion. Otherwise 1 by C is equal to 1 by COX plus 1 by C depletion. This is how we can calculate the total capacitance. Okay, and as you see, total capacitance is going to be getting reduced since width of depletion region increases as voltage increases. So whenever the voltage is going to reaches the Vt, that is end of the limit. Okay, so whenever Vgs is going to be reaches Vt, by that time the capacitance is going to be reaches, total capacitance reaches minimum value. So this is going to be called as C minimum. This point is C minimum and it is C maximum. And if the gate voltage is greater than threshold voltage, what happens? If the voltage is greater than threshold voltage, inversion layer is formed. So the depletion region above that one, inversion layer is going to be getting formed. Inversion layer is consisting of only electrons. Okay, this is what the diagram you will get. Now the gate voltage which is going to be greater than Vt may be of AC voltage or DC voltage. So this Vg can be of three different ways. One is DC voltage, you may apply a DC voltage, or low frequency AC voltage or high frequency AC voltage. For DC voltage, that is whenever you are applying a constant voltage, definitely inversion layer gets changed. Okay, you are applying for a sufficient amount of time, according to that voltage inversion layer gets changed. So inversion layer is going to be function of gate voltage if the gate voltage is DC voltage, or if the gate voltage is low frequency also. If the gate voltage is low frequency also, it is allowing sufficient amount of time for the inversion layer charge to react for the applied gate voltage. So for these two cases, gate voltage is proportional to charge in the inversion layer. That is what Qn here indicated. Qn is electron inversion layer. So Vg is proportional to Qn. So this layer now, electron layer is going to be changes. As electron layer is going to be getting changed. Okay, so the electrons are movable. Okay, so mobile electrons are mobile charge carriers and it can act as plate 2, and this polysilicon, that is gate, is going to be acting as plate 1. Okay, depletion layer is not going to be affected with the help of gate voltage in this region. This is going to be called as inversion region. In this inversion region, depletion layer doesn't get changed. Okay, depletion layer not affected. since depletion layer is not a function of gate voltage, okay, so we don't consider this depletion capacitance, because depletion capacitance is a dynamic capacitance, and whenever there is a change in charge results because of change in voltage, then only that capacitance has to take place. Okay, so now we are going with only the capacitance which is related, which is between two parallel plates, that is COX. So for low frequencies and for DC values of gate voltage, capacitance is going to be again equal to COX. That's why from this point onwards it is moving up towards COX. Okay, so this is capacitance under DC or low frequencies. Okay, and next, if it is high frequency is nothing but very rapid change in the gate voltage. That rapid change in the gate voltage cannot able to give sufficient amount of time for the inversion layer to get react. So that inversion layer cannot able to react for the fast changes that is taking place because of high frequency. So that inversion layer doesn't change, and below that one bulk layer is also doesn't change. And if you observe, okay, this is now it is not acting as plate 2 for high frequencies. For high frequencies this inversion layer doesn't act as plate 2, because if it has to act as plate 2 at that time, whatever the positive amount of charge you are applying for this one side, it has to attract same amount of negative charge, then only this is called as capacitor action. So now inversion layer doesn't get changed for the applied voltage, so this inversion layer is treated as it is not part of capacitor, it is not acting as plate 2. So now if you observe the diagram, there is a COX capacitance and this depletion layer now we have to consider, because there is no plate 2 between these two regions, so you must consider this depletion region. Now there are two capacitors like this COX and C depletion, and the width of depletion region is going to be constant, is fixed, because already it has reached the saturation at the end of VT, and if you apply more than VT also depletion layer doesn't get changed. So C depletion is going to be constant and COX is also constant. So the capacitance is going to be at its minimum value, and it is what? At high frequencies. So at high frequencies capacitance is going to be having minimum value. So these are the two values, C maximum and C minimum, for a mass capacitor. Now we are going to calculate C maximum by C minimum. Okay, C maximum value is nothing but COX, C minimum value is nothing but COX parallel C depletion. Okay, now we are going to calculate the required ratio of the given problem. Okay. Now start. So we have seen that one C maximum, okay, C maximum is equal to COX divided by C minimum is nothing but C. Okay, I will write C minimum only. So you can write it as COX into 1 by C minimum, or C maximum into 1 by C minimum. Okay, don't apply OX now. C maximum only. C maximum into, okay, C maximum divided by, so you can also write C maximum into C minimum. C maximum is equal to COX and C minimum is equal to COX in parallel with C depletion. So this can be written as 1 by C minimum is equal to 1 by COX plus 1 by C depletion. Okay, and we know COX can be written as COX is equal to oxide capacitance epsilon OX by TOX. Okay, and C depletion is nothing but depletion capacitance per unit area. Again it is going to be same ratio of permittivity to the thickness. Permittivity is nothing but depletion layer is in the semiconductor, So that is epsilon s, and thickness of depletion layer is nothing but W depletion, width of depletion region. So C depletion can be calculated using this one, and COX is going to be calculated using this one. Now 1 by C minimum is equal to 1 by C minimum. This is what first equation. 1 by C minimum is equal to 1 by COX. COX is equal to, it will be TOX divided by epsilon OX plus W depletion divided by epsilon S. So 1 by COX can be calculated as epsilon OX into epsilon S. This is TOX into epsilon S plus W depletion into epsilon OX. So now this is 1 by C minimum. Substitute this 1 by C minimum value in equation 1 along with C maximum value. So from equation 1, okay, C maximum is COX into 1 by C minimum. So COX is equal to epsilon OX divided by TOX into TOX into epsilon S plus W depletion into epsilon OX divided by epsilon S into epsilon OX. Epsilon OX get cancels. Okay, so it can be written as 1 by TX times of, if you take epsilon S common from the numerator, at that time that epsilon S and this epsilon S get cancels, then you can write it as TOX plus W depletion into epsilon OX by epsilon S. This you can write. So now we will substitute the values. 1 by TOX is equal to 10 millimeter, and TOX is 10 plus W depletion is 100 into epsilon OX by epsilon S. Epsilon S by epsilon OX is 3. So this will become 1 by 3. Okay, so we can now calculate 1 by 10 into 100 by 3 is 33.3 plus 10, 43.3. So this will be equal to 4.33. Okay, so the ratio is going to be C maximum to C minimum ratio. C maximum by C minimum ratio is 4.33. Thank you.